Economic Forum, where we discuss various issues affecting our economy in Malaysia. Today, we will look at how retirement can be affecting our daily life. My name is Muhammad Nashrul, and together, we will dive deeply on this issue today with our invited panelists, which are Mrs. Aisha, Mrs. Anis, Mrs. Nadira, and lastly, Mrs. Ain. Thank you for joining us today. Nowadays, when people are about to retire from their job, they get worried because in most cases, they do not plan for their financial future. Before we move further, can we have a clear vision on what is actually retirement, Mrs. Anis?
Thank you for inviting me today. So, the definition of retirement is the time of life when a person chooses to permanently leave their workforce behind. Retirement can occur from many factors such as old age, changing work genre, and according to the latest study, retirement can occur to the presence of artificial intelligence. Retirement age in Malaysia remained unchanged at 60 years old in 2023 from previous year, reaching an all-time high of 60 years this year.
Wow, that's a new knowledge to me. So how exactly retirement becomes an issue toward ourselves?
Well, this can be seen because of the trauma of unplanned financial income after retirement. In fact, there have been situations whereby people with stable income like journalists, a soccer player, and musician become destitute after they have retired.
Yes, that is very true. According to the latest data from the Ministry of Health of Malaysia, there are two effects of poor planning of financial after retirement. First is depression. Among 60% of retired people face depression due to lack money closely associated with their old age. And not to be dramatic, but this is also contribute to increasing number of suicide. And next is declining in physical health. If you look at the state of our retirees, they grow old in 1 year or less. This is because they are worried about their money decreasing with no income, but daily expenses continue to increase every day. So this worsens the condition, and they are also juggling with the health problems such as diabetes, health problem, and high blood pressure.
That's a worrying update to hear. I also would like to hear about the relationship between poor management of finances after retirement can lead to criminal cases. Maybe we can hear some explanation from Mrs. Nadira?
Well, yes, of course. We have high cases of murder in Malaysia among retirees today. If you are aware about the news where a wife murdered her husband just to get the pension, and another news posted on Harian Metro in September 9, 2021, where a husband unconsciously murdered his wife just because his wife spent all their EPF saving for buying golds and houses renovation. While on the other hand, they still have two children who are still currently in high school.
Not to mention high cases of divorce. Divorce rate among adults 65 and older have continued to increase through 2019 as more baby boomers move into that age group. 1 in 10 people getting divorced is 65 or older due to retirement issue or money pension.
Would we hear a number of couples of retirees who actually plan their retirement nowadays? Is there any good news from you, Mrs. Ain?
According to FIRE survey, which is Financial Independence Retire Early, show most common strategy towards retirement among Malaysians is regular saving, which is 71%, by doing financial planning 63%, and investing 66%, indicating that Malaysians are still largely hands-on when it comes to retirement planning.
So, what is the suggestion that can be made to Malaysian people in planning their retirement?
If you have any high interest debts, you should also prioritize paying that off first too. as they can drain your saving faster than you grow your wealth through investing. Investing is a key to reaching your retirement goal. But first, make sure you have saved up for an emergency funds. This gives you a financial cushion if an emergency expenses arises.
What type of expenses drain the most savings from retirees' bank accounts?
Probably the most expenses goes into medical and treatment. While this is no means a comprehensive list of ailments experienced by oldest, these are other chronic diseases are among the common, which are arthritis, cancer, chronic kidney disease and stroke.
Other than financial plannings, what other things can we do in order to plan our retirement while working?
Things that we can do in order to plan our retirement while working is probably take care of our health and sign up for a medical card to avoid financial difficulties in the future. There are numerous plans available that can be chosen in Malaysia with different coverage and needs. Other than that, I personally suggest people to have fixed deposit accounts.
What are fixed deposit accounts and how actually it works?
Basically, you put a lump sum amount in your bank account at an agreed rate of interest. The general rule is that you cannot withdraw your deposit until your investment has reached the date of maturity, where your principal deposit will be repaid to you along with your interest earned.
Wow, such an open eyes discussion we have today. Other than financial planning, what other plans should we have, in your opinion, Mrs. Aisha?
Prepare yourself for retirement is a vital in securing a seamless retirement. You have to mentally prepare by thinking about your perfect retirement plan, by set a realistic expectation about your retirement routine, stay connected with your college and seek professional support if you need it. So please don't sit alone.
So actually, how much do Malaysians need for their retirement in numbers?
Based on a survey we made in July 2023, there are variation of numbers collected from the respondents. Millennial respondents that aged 25 to 39 in Malaysia said that they need an average 4.86 ringgit million to retire comfortably. Meanwhile, Gen X that aged 40 to 54 years old with 4.53 million ringgit and boomers that age 55 to 69 years old with 2.57 million ringgit.
Wow, that's a huge number. What can they do to reach those numbers actually?
As mentioned earlier, they can do savings, but actually investment are really helping. They can invest their money on property such as doing rental housing and cars. And for those who are targeting to go back to their village after their retirement, they can invest in agriculture. The crop yields can be consumed to decrease their expenses and help retirees stay healthy by gardening. They also can make money by selling their crop yields.
Phew, seems like Malaysians need to plan their retirement from the day one they start working. Do you think this might affect Malaysian psychologists?
Actually, yes. Malaysians nowadays, instead of feeling free, relaxed, and fulfilled, they may feel a little depressed, aimless, and isolated. They may grieve for the loss of their own life, and they may feel stressed about how they are going to feel their days after their retirement, or worried about the toll that being at home all days is taking on their relationship with their spouse or partner.
Is retirement good or bad for mental health? Generally, based on your opinion.
I think this is based on people perspective and how they're going to live their life every day. And people who retire involuntarily voluntarily are often less satisfied with their life and suffer from worse mental health than those who retire voluntarily.
Well, I agree with Aisha. Plus, maintaining an active social life gets harder with age. Little by little, people were close to moving away or passing away. So, when we retire, we lost about half of our social network. So, as our social pool evaporates, it is difficult to replenish because options are limited or we are not motivated enough to meet new people.
Honestly, I don't think Malaysians can do all this preparation and planning by themselves. Is there any help from the other side? For example, employees and the government?
Yes, here in Malaysia, we have EPF, which is an employee provident fund. The EPF receive and manage retirement saving encompassing compulsory contributions by all Malaysian citizens and permanent residents who are working in Malaysia. Other than that, we also have Pekeso, or maybe known as SOCSO contribution.
So, how EPF and SOCSO works actually?
EPF works when you contribute 11% of your monthly salary to EPF. Your employer will contribute another 12 to 13% of your salary to your EPF saving. However, either you or your employer both may contribute at a rate exceeding the statutory rates. For SOCSO, the employer has to pay 1.75% of the employee's total salaries toward the funds, and the employee has to pay 0.5% of their salary amounts toward the funds. Then the total amount from the addition of these two contributions will go towards to the SOCSO fund.
I see. Thank you for your explanation, Ms. Sain. Here we come to the end of our forum. Maybe before we part, we have something to share to our viewers, Ms. Aisha and Mrs. Nadira.
So yeah, I had a wonderful time here. Thank you to Mr. Nashrul and everyone here. So I would like to advise all of our potential retirees to devise a plan, stick to it, and set goals. Remember, it is never too late or too early to start saving. Retirement is expensive, so experts estimate that you will need 70 to 90% of your pre-retirement income to maintain your standard of living when you stop working.
What a wise advice to hear from you, Mrs. Nadira. Do you want to add a bit more to our plate today, Ms. Aisha?
Thank you to Mr. Nashrul, and I would like to say that I'm glad to be here, and there is so much new information I got from this forum. However, I also would like to remind our potential retirees to build a support network. Having a support network in place is vital, which means surrounding yourself with people you trust, such as your friend, family, and loved one. And I think communicating openly with them about your feelings during difficult time is essential, and you must seek for reassurance from them in terms of understanding and emotional support during your retirement, so you can avoid from being depressed and stressed.
Thank you everyone for contributing your time and energy today. I hope our viewers get something for themselves and have a peaceful retirement phase with your loved one. Till then, goodbye.